up? Yes. If it accrues so much value and gets so many users, yeah, the fees will go up and you'll just get really, really rich holding Pulse watching. Oh no, more really, really rich people. Like, you can't, here's the thing. You cannot force a free market to keep things cheap, because then crappy use cases that aren't valuable will outbid useful and valuable use cases. And do you want your chain with limited capacity to be filled up with crap? No, you don't want your chain filled up with crap. You want it filled up with nice, good things. Well, then how do you know what the difference between nice and crap is? By bidding. And the people that see more value on the chain pay more to use the chain. And then your limited resource chain, through the bidding mechanism, is filled with the most valuable things that people can fill it with. And so this like socialist USSR decree that, oh, we're just going to have cheap fees forever, it doesn't work, because there's a finite amount of space and you have to allocate it to certain users. And who should you allocate it to? Those that can most afford it, because they're bidding with their money for how valuable the transaction is. So the solution to a limited resource isn't to screw around with the pricing. The solution to a limited resource is to create more of the resource. So the Ethereum chain is full. Great. Well, we're going to make one with 4 times more throughput, and it won't be full. It'll be empty, and let's go fill it up.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to another awesome day on Pulsechain. And of course, we're going to be covering a few little video clips I've been posting lately on Pulsechain and Hex price predictions from a number of influencers and DA gurus and personalities. So it should be a bit of fun today. We're going to mix it up, and of course, let's see who's in the house. We've got Lies Beneath the Truth. How are you today? Very good. Super sunny day outside again. Loving this weather. Hello all, Hex, EHEX, PLS, PLSX, and the Center Token for the win. Absolutely smashing it out there. It's hilarious, man. Just our news, mainstream media, they're just so fake news. Everything about them, fake. Every story fake. Everything just messed up. And we're just enjoying such a great summer. And they tried to put up this little map on the weather thing. They made everything really red for normal weather. It's just like normal weather. And then like red, hot, just manipulators. But anyway, we're enjoying the summer. It is a cracker and enjoying indeed. Now, the other thing I was going to say is a big shout out to Wookie. He's been doing really well, and it's nice to see. So well done to you, Wookie. We got Archie in the house as well. Hey, Archie. Hi, all. Good to see you. Welcome to the house. Archie, man, superstar in our Discord. Big shout out. We got Brian, our community leader. Another awesome leader there. Thanks, Brian. We got Crypto Dan as well. Hi, guys. Hope everything is doing well. Doing very well indeed. We got Rich Liberation in the house as well. Let's go, Hex. Absolutely. Let's go, Hex. Rich, nice to see you also. We got What's Up, y'all, from Truck. Looking good. And we've got Crypto Pay as well. Hello, people. Good to see you, Crypto Pay. Pump us up, Superman. Pump it up. Yeah, let's do it. I like that. And of course, hey gang, Hexavator in the house. Big shout out to you as well. What else there? Hey Hex Token and everybody from Solid. Bobsled as well. Good evening, EV1. Nice one to see you, Bobsled. Welcome to the chat as well. A few good names in there. So nice to see. Let's get straight into it, folks. You know how we rock and roll on this channel. We're going to get into the markets. We're going to start off with the last day of the stock market, which is the Friday US time, and then we're going to get into crypto and then Pulsechain. That's pretty much it. We don't have any project updates today, but we're going to be getting into videos, price prediction videos instead, which I know many of you love. You love those price prediction videos. That's what we're going to be covering today. Wookie has arrived. Hey, nice to see you, Wookie. I was just talking about you earlier. All right, cool. Let's get into it. Let's go. All right, so where are we? We haven't even got the shared screen up. Let's do that. And bam, the stock market. Bam, there we go. All right, so the stock market today, Dow Jones down. So we had a bullish week, of course, in the stock market, all-time highs, but we have had a down day on Friday. The Dow Jones there down, what's that? Almost 0.4%, 145 points to 38,627. We got the S&P 500 down 0.5%. 24 points to 5,005. And we got the NASDAQ there down 0.8%, 130 points to 15,775. So those are the big indices there. So a bit of a down day on the stock market there. and of course that's reflecting the inflation results that came out. So we'll check that out. Treasury yields rose as producer price index comes in hot to further dent the rate cut outlook. Treasury yields jumped, with yields on the 2-year Treasury rising 8 basis points to 4.652% as rate cut bets were sullied after the US producer price index by 0.3% in January from 0.1% in December. I don't know who writes these paragraphs, but hey, that's the way it goes. Above economists' expectations of 0.1%, so it was higher basically. The data arrived just days after the consumer inflation surprise to the upside, to further muddying investor bets on aggressive rate cuts. In other words, pushing the interest rate cuts further into the year. So maybe from March or May into June or later. So that's kind of where we're heading there with the slightly higher inflation. The stronger PPI report was driven by a 0.5% rise in trade services, which includes gross wholesale and retail margins, and accounting for nearly a quarter of the core Pantheon macroeconomics said, though added the overall trend is slowing. And a little bit weird there. One disappointing month does not change the trend. In other words, that's slightly higher inflation, and none of the inflation fundamentals have changed. So still expecting inflation to reduce, but of course the interest rates stay up for longer. So there we go. So June's still looking good for my target there. So that's the stock market. Bit of a red day. Let's go. I forgot to read out the commodities today, but hey, that's the way it goes. We've got BTC at the moment at 52,214, looking strong, right? This is our target. You guys know it. We hit 52,000 and we're up 0.5%. Bitcoin dominance at 51.42%, looking super strong as well. The market's still pushing higher. And of course, compared to the stock market, which is already at all-time highs, crypto is only at the beginning of its bull run. So it's going to be pretty interesting, next 15 to 18 months ahead of us, how those two markets relate together. Obviously, speculative there. I don't buy BlackRock's argument for the time being about it not being speculative, actually a flight to capital. I still see the assets pretty connected. So we're going to see how that goes. But the timing of the market's boom, bull run is very different. So but crypto only just beginning. It's going to be interesting to see how it performs over this time period ahead. Obviously, we've got super bullish news coming up in the next 5 months. So I'm pretty bullish on crypto in particular. Whereas the stock market's pretty all-time highs, makes you a bit nervous about where that's heading. Ethereum at the moment, $2,806 up, down, 0.7%. Everything else is pretty mixed, right? We got Matic there, though, having a good day, up 7% to 95 cents. That's kind of the highlights there at the moment. All right, let's jump over to Bitcoin, have a zoom in on that. This is our Bitcoin chart with the macro picture. And as you guys can see, we're closing in on that Bitcoin halving. Look at that, out in March here. April, I should say, April the 17th. We are closing on that pretty quickly. How many days away? 60 days. We're 2 months away. Woo! 2 months away from the Bitcoin halving. And so that means we've got so much fun ahead of us, really. It's really, really cool. Now, look at this. We've got the yellow line is 50-day moving average. We have absolutely rallied off that, looking very, very good indeed so far. And we've got the Bitcoin halving only 2 months away, which is super bullish. In the meantime, of course, we've got March and we've got Ethereum going to be pretty bullish. And we're not the only one bullish about the Bitcoin chart, but also, obviously, Bitcoin. Richard Hart put out a post here earlier today about the Bitcoin ETFs. He says the Bitcoin ETF is wonderful for cryptocurrency as a whole. Legacy financial systems have enslaved and bad serviced their captured users for over a decade, limiting access to the best performing asset class in history. Of course, that's crypto. The ETF sidesteps much of the censorship. The BTC ETF success will lead to more crypto ETFs, just like Bitcoin itself led to more cryptocurrencies. Wait till they discover there's better tech with better gains to be had, aka a Pulsechain, right? So that's pretty cool. That was from Richard Hart there. So looking pretty cool. Apparently, we've got Hexavita here, an influence on X. And apparently, John Cena, one of the famous people, and I guess in the sport entertainment world, was apparently had followed Hexavita. So that's kind of a bit of fun there, getting some more celebrities coming in into Pulsechain and Hex from the looks of it. So it was kind of good news. So that's from Richard. So yeah, crypto BTC looking very good today. So far, the high $52,608. Wow. The low so far $51,597, and we are currently at a 52,183, right in the middle, and looking very good as we head towards Bitcoin halving. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right, so that is Bitcoin. Let's jump into Ethereum. Ethereum also looking very good on the daily. And of course, we got even more news with Ethereum. We've got Deacon upgrade, as I said yesterday. We've got that coming up on the 13th of March. So currently it's on testnet number 3. And of course, we're looking for it to go to mainnet in the 13th of March. That will be followed on the 17th of April by the Bitcoin halving. It's going to be bullish. We're going to have a lot of things launched around the Bitcoin halving because people are going to be targeting that. I'm thinking of things potentially that could come up there. Should I say them? I don't know. You let me know in the chat. Anyway, we've got Ethereum ETF approvals coming up after that on the 23rd of May. And that's going to be pretty bullish too. We've got 7, maybe 8 of those. And of course, that's going to be huge. Now, the chance of success, not as high as Bitcoin, but still, I think, very favorable that we'll get those approved because they're all kind of being pushed towards the date of 23rd of May. And yeah, get approved. So that looks pretty good. And we've got many of the people that got approved in the Bitcoin ETFs are also part of the Ethereum ETFs. So that should go through pretty well. Now, we've had a bit more volatility today. So we've had a high of, 2,860, a low of 2,745. We're currently in the middle of that too at 2,804. And we're getting closer and closer to this Deacon upgrade for mainnet. That's going to be pretty fun. That's going to particularly be good for second layer protocols. As you guys know, they kind of batch up a whole ton of transactions on the second layer and, of course, reconcile that on the layer 1 chain for Ethereum. Now, what's the big difference is that instead of having permanent data, they're going to be moving to blob data, which is kind of temporary, and that should be priced at a lot cheaper and therefore lower the cost of the second layer protocol fees. So that's kind of the idea there. And if, Ethereum managed to move more volume over to the second layers, then maybe that lowers the fees on Ethereum, but probably not because there's so much speculation and we're in the bull market for Ethereum. So that's probably not going to happen. The other side of it, of course, is that Pulsechain is here, which is a full system state copy of Ethereum. And so we're willing to open up another McDonald's, just like Richard said in that first video that I played at the beginning. And we'll take some of the customers. Pretty nice. All right, so far we are around about 25 days away from the Deacon upgrade on mainnet, and that's going to be pretty cool. That brings us proto-dank sharding. Very cool. In other words, good leverage play potentially is Arbitrum and Optimism. They could be good leverage plays on Ethereum hype there with the Deacon upgrade. Should the market price that up a bit before we get there, as it is already doing. The other one, of course, is Ethereum, their ETFs on the 23rd of May. So looking pretty good for Ethereum. Now, this is still looking fantastic, just like on Bitcoin. But of course, this has even more news flow than Bitcoin. It has the Deacon upgrade, the Bitcoin ETF, Bitcoin halving, and of course the Ethereum ETF approval. So it's got 3 big rallies. The other thing it will benefit from too is capital moving from Bitcoin into Ethereum and then into altcoins. So it's got that flow as well. So Ethereum looking hot this year. And of course, some people are calling 20 to 40k Ethereum. Definitely feeling good about 25k. I definitely think that's doable on the Ethereum there. So bring it on. We will see. I definitely don't think 10k. 10k is a bit low. We did 4,900 last time. We've got the biggest capital flows ever coming through now. So I definitely think we're going to head up and away there on the old Ethereum, and that bodes well for altcoins and, of course, layer ones like Pulsechain, which is a full system copy of Ethereum. So kind of cool at the 10th of May, of course, last year. All right, so let's move on from there. Looking pretty good. We're going to get into the Pulsechain, and we're going to get into some of these price predictions. Before we do that, though, let's catch up in the chat, see who else has managed to jump in here. We definitely got a Wookie. We got unprotected Hex there. Bridge is still free. It is. So bridge over as much capital as you can while the fees are still free there. Wookie is ready to fire. Feeling good. Who else there? Jay, everything is here as well. Good to see you. Grand Prix. Hi, all. Pulsechain will be 40 weeks old on Monday. Yeah, bring it on. Well, we're on day 280 results today. So we're going to be covering day 280. Can you believe that? Tintop in the house there. What's up? Excellent. It's good to see you, Tintop. And Blair SM as well. Hi, all. Good to see you, Blair. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do results day number 280. Should we do that? We're going to go through the charts as they are now, and then we can get into the price predictions. How about that? That sounds a pretty good deal. All right, so that is the chart there. 280 days around the world for Pulsechain. Now, these are the final results almost. 000148, and we are up 0.2%. We're at 48% above the mean sacrifice price. So doing pretty well on Pulsechain. Things are really just warming up. Pulsex there at 000551, and we're up 1% there. We've still got quite a bit of work to do. Only 55% of the mean sacrifice price, so still an upside for the old Pulsex. And the buy and burn continues to go up pretty nicely. 702, so almost 703 billion Pulsex has been bought up and burned. That's 3.44% of the supply. We are waiting, of course, for PUSD Earn protocol. That is waiting for the Fetch Oracle to scale up. But as I understand it, that might be only 1 or 2 months away. It does seem like that's going to be earlier than later. Normally, we were from Pulsebot's indication that Pulsebot was going to have to wait 4 to 6 months, and now they're saying maybe 2 months or 1 month or something like that. I just can't remember the phrasing, but it was something like that. So that's more bullish for PUSD. It must be getting closer and closer. So hopefully we'll have it by the Bitcoin halving. That'd be pretty perfect time, right? Talking about one thing that might launch around Bitcoin halving could be PUSD's Earn protocol, massive blue chip on Pulsechain, just like liquid loans. Collateralizing Pulsex and issuing PXDC, the third stable coin. Potentially could issue tens of millions of dollars of a stable coin native to Pulsechain. That would be pretty awesome on top of liquid loans, which is what, about 32 million or so. So that would be pretty amazing. And of course, adding extra buy pressure and things like that. So it's kind of cool. The incentive token at the moment, $3.45, up 1.8%. And that is, the ratio is really interesting on incentive. 23,365, really looking strong there. As you guys know, we've had resistance at 24,000, so we're not far away from that. Now, the total supply of incentive, 24.1 million, and it's just slowly rising from the Pulsex yield farm, which we looked at yesterday, if you guys remember. Looking forward to the burn, though, for incentive. TRH V4, it looks like it's going to be probably April at this stage, let's say, for V4. For TRH, so that's going to burn more tokens, rich hard tokens, no doubt. We'll see what the exact tokenomics looks like, but so far they've managed to burn 118,000, incentive tokens. Hex at the moment is a PHEX is at 1.77 cents, up 2.5%. So Hex is the best performer today. Yay! And I said to you, keep a lookout for Hex, man. I think once it goes, it's going to go. And we've got some price predictions here to maybe get you excited about where that could go to. We've got EHEX at the moment at 1 cent. Yeah, 1 penny. A penny stock. A penny stock there. I like it. And who can sell a penny stock? Well, we're going to do it. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so we're at 2.77 cents at the moment. We are below that 3 cent combined price for EHEX, PHEX. But once it goes, it's going to go. And you'd want to be on that train, right? You want to be on that train. All right, so that is it. That is the prices there. Let's go quickly to the charts. This is a Pulsechain. And as you can see, it's just continued to rise up here, getting very close to breaking high. However, we have one issue. The RSI is pretty hot at 70 there. It would be nice to see it cool down a bit. But the MACD is certainly looking good on the MACD, just chilling a little bit there. So let's see how we go. But that's probably the only thing there. Maybe we need a bit more consolidation around that. The weekly, however, has got a bit more room to move at 62. So we could try and break a little bit higher here on the old Pulsechain. So just take that into account there on the old Pulsechain. We've got Pulsex at the moment at 0.55. Also hyper bullish. Look at that, looking pretty amazing. And we've got much more room to move on the day. Look at that, 59 on Pulsex, 59. So Pulsex definitely got to be the call there. That could definitely look like it can really rally. Obviously, we're waiting for PUSD Earn protocol as well, as I just mentioned earlier. But that's definitely got room to move to the upside. And on the weekly, let's have a look at the weekly. The weekly there, look at that, down at 59. So lots of room to potentially move on that with the old Pulsex there. So looking pretty good. Got to be the call there. And obviously incentive token as well, performing very well. But we've been watching this pulse ratio, and that is near the top, not too far from the top there. Nice little uptrend in place too, 23,366. Let's see if it can break that 24 and up and away there so far. And let's go to PHEX. PHEX there having a nice green day. Look at that, looking good. We got this bullish cross back here. It almost got wiped out, but it's up and away again. And the RSI's got heaps of room to move. So 57. So we got some good room to move there. The MACD, a little bit of a mixed signal, but looks like it's going to stay bullish. So let's see how that goes. And so far, so good on PHEX. And as you guys know, I've been very bullish about this, getting very close to potentially breaking out to the upside. And we've got the room to move to go at least much higher and break that 3 cents. So we'll see how we get on there. EHEX as well, sitting just around about 1 penny, let's say, and that's still got a room to move. So it's a little bit laggish behind there, but the RSI has heaps of room to move on that 60. And what else there we got there? Bit bullish on the MACD. Now, we did see some EHEX, quite a bit of EHEX come over the bridge yesterday before I turned in for the evening. I don't know whether that was BankHex or whose that was. It was about 29 million hex EHEX there that came over the Pulsechain. I haven't actually followed up to see what happened with that, but some interesting activity there. All right, that is EHEX and PHEX. I didn't bring up the combined chart on InvestX, so let's do that before we move on. I want to do some price prediction videos. Let's do that. We're almost there. We're 48 people. It's always good to get a lot of people on before we, do the main event. So kind of cool. Let's go to the combined chart here on InvestX.io, the best #1 workshop. And I must shout out to the team. The team on InvestX has just continued, to always be one of the best information platforms that you can find from Pulsechain. They've been working hard for years, just hats off to them. InvestX.io, check it out. Okay. All right, so let's have a look at the combined price, EHEX and PX. We're going to go to the daily chart. A quick look at that for PX, EHEX. Just show you what I'm talking about with this 3-cent runaway, and that's going to be good context for the videos we're about to play. So here you can see back in October, we tried to break 3 cents. We tried again here in 19th of January, having to fail there. But man, once we go over 3 cents, it's going to open up, the 4 to 8 cent range, isn't it? And then up and away. Who knows where it could go this second cycle for Hex, the second bull market cycle. It's going to be fun to see. One of the few coins, of course, to do a 10,000X. Was there 4 of them, I think? Maybe 6 of them if you include a couple of managed ones. So looking pretty good is the old Hex there. The glory of Hex is going to have round 2. Ding, 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 ding. So it's going to be pretty fun. All right, this is the InvestX. I'm going to leave a link to InvestX if you guys want to check it out. Daniel says, what is the link? Here is the link to InvestX. If you guys want to check it out, definitely worth supporting some of the best workshops. They got heaps of utilities on there. Check it out. I'll probably spend quite a few hours just playing around if you're really going to utilize it properly. So check it out on there. Who else has jumped in here? We've got a couple more comments before we move on into the video play. We got Red Squirrel in the house there. Oi, oi. Good to see you, Red Squirrel. Wookie as well. Hey, 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 all. Good to see you, Wookie. Solid in the house there. Big K or Crypto Vince just mentioned on Cabana stream that Power City was not going to wait for fetch. Haven't seen that mentioned anywhere else. Well, here's the thing, Solid, is that when they were Power City was originally talking about their oracles, they did have a centralized oracle in-house, an in-house one, but they were also going to use Power City, the fetch oracle because it was going to be decentralized. That was the ideal. So it looks like they may be going with the centralized oracle. I think it's risky though, and I'm sure hopefully they're comfortable with that risk because once you put once you put the code up, it should be immutable. Obviously, the team knows what they're doing, but it's going to be interesting to see that. And I know they're probably pretty frustrated with the speed that Fetch Oracle was rolled out. We did cover liquid lines yesterday with the update about the difficulties that they're having, and obviously it has flow-on effects for projects, teams like Power City and Pulsepot. Pulsepots are obviously launching a number of games coming up in the next 10 days. So the teams are going to try and do workarounds to get that up and running. But yeah, we're aware that they were going to have some sort of centralized oracle for Power City. But yeah, it's not ideal. But they've got to do what they got to do. So we'll see what they come out with that too. All right, cool update there from Solid though. All right, is that it? I think let's go. Let's get into some price predictions. So here we are, obviously, with the results for day 280. Let's have a look at some of the videos that people have been putting out about price predictions. Now, we've obviously had the biggest streamer in crypto who got pushed out of BitBoy, Ben Armstrong, has come over to Pulsechain. It's definitely one of the chains that he wants to cover, one of the communities that he wants to cover as he's building back his following. I think he's up to about 94,000 subscribers on YouTube. I think he's can't remember what his following is on X, maybe 50 to 70,000 or something like that. So he's building back again. And here it is. So let's hear from him. This is on his Pulsechain prediction. This just came out yesterday. I did post it on the channel, and this is his opinion. So take into account his assumptions, his knowledge of Pulsechain and Hex. Right, it's not like the same as all the influences in Pulsechain and Hex. So just take that into account. But it's still a fair sort of setup for an analysis, which he's done for many years.
Chain a final score of 77, placing it on the B tier. It's puts it in the same tier as Ethereum, just below AVAX, ADA, and Hex, and just above CRO and Bitcoin. So now, On to the moment that you've all been waiting for, the price predictions for Pulsechain. These prices are based on previous bull markets and with the expectation of fairly normal market conditions. So let's take a look at 3 different ways this could go. The bearish case, the bullish case, and what I think is probably most likely to happen. In the most bearish case, I only see Pulse reaching 1/10 of a cent with a market cap of nearly $18 billion. This is how things will look if the Hex ecosystem fails to take off here. It could be because of legal troubles, or maybe because the Pulse community just becomes too fragmented between the Hexkins and the newcomers. I don't really see that happening, so let's move on to the most bullish case. Now, if everything goes perfect, I can see Pulse hitting a penny with a market cap of about $148 billion. This would be a penny short of the 10,000x that Richard says his projects are built for, but it would still be a very good run. To have a rally like this, we will need to see even more users from outside the Hex community become attracted to the new applications on the chain. The Hexagons would also start pushing Pulse even harder than they pushed Hex. And of course, the charges against Richard would need to be dropped, or he would need some other type of win in this case for this scenario to play out. Now, for what I think is most likely going to happen, realistically, I can see Pulse hitting a price of 1/4 of a penny with a market cap of $37 billion. Hex investors from the last cycle need to understand that what you guys saw for your coin is like finding a needle in a haystack. An educated guess on the needle, I get it, but very few projects see 10,000x gains. And that sets up some out of whack expectations. And I just feel that Pulsechain is not going to live up to this unrealistic expectation that a lot of Hexkins might have. I would love it if it did though. It will still do well overall. It's just that lightning doesn't usually strike twice.
So there we are. That's Ben Armstrong's view on Pulsechain PLS token and a PLS coin, I should say. And so you got 1 cent, you got 1/4 of a penny, things like that. So, but I think that those price ranges are fine. Now I don't underestimate Richard Hart, so I don't put any cap on what he may do. Because he's the magic couple carpet ride. But man, that is I'm not unhappy with those price targets. I think they're pretty fair. Let's jump over to his EHEX price prediction. Now he does have a PHEX price prediction coming out, but the EHEX price prediction is in this video. So let's check this out.
EX price in this video. I'll say that for another day. This is only EX. In the most bearish case, I see Hex priced at 10 cents with a market cap of $17.34 billion. This is what Hex holders will be looking at if Richard faces major fines and the SEC is able to force him into a settlement where he has to admit that Hex is a security. Don't see it happening. The community would still keep the project alive if this were to happen, but the heyday of Hex would be over. If the SEC ends up dropping their case against Richard as the agency loses relevance in crypto regulation, I can see the most bullish scenario playing out, where Hex hits a new all-time high of $1 with a market cap of $173 billion. In this possible scenario, Hex officially becomes one of the projects to be regulated under the new crypto asset classification, which are recognized to not be traditional securities. Now, for what I think is actually going to happen, the most likely scenario, I think the SEC case will go slowly during the bull run, because we all know how slow the gears of government grind. This won't be great for Richard, though, because Richard Hart is rich, but he doesn't have the same level of wealth and backing that Ripple had. Now, of course, at this point, they still haven't even been able to serve Richard, so maybe the case doesn't even happen. I also think, though, the Pulsechain is taking some of the steam away from Hex, and it also has a better chance of surviving through the battle against the SEC, because even though both projects are mentioned in the case, Pulsechain is its own network, and it's a lot more than just an investment. I certainly don't think Hex is going anywhere, but I also don't see it hitting its previous all-time highs during the cycle unless there's a massive win in court. Realistically, I see Hex reaching half of its previous all-time high of just over 50 cents. That puts my price prediction at about 25 cents with a market cap of $46.8 billion, still more than 25x from where we are now, but definitely not as crazy as the last cycle.
So we're currently at 1 cent, right? So 25 cents, it's a 25x, and $1 there, 100x from here. So that's kind of his price predictions. I have no problem with those price predictions. However, I think that we have a huge potential to go well above $1. And so we're going to look at some of those predictions as well. So let's switch over from Ben Armstrong, who's sort of just coming into the Pulsechain Hex community there. And let's check out Hexologist, obviously one of the biggest influences in the Pulsechain Hex space. And of course, did an amazing job during the early days on DLive. So let's get into during the last bull market. So let's have a look at Hexo's price prediction, which is quite a bit more bullish, and I definitely think is on the upper side here for where Hex could go. Now that he's going to be covering Hex on Pulsechain as opposed to eHex, but you get the idea. And we may even have convergence between eHex and PX. That's a different topic altogether. But let's get into this one from Hexo.
Prediction, June 2025. Dude, I think PHEX does a 300 or 400x this bull run, dude. 300 or 400x, $3 to $4 possibly. Why not? Sure. No financial advice. Don't take that as anything, but yeah, why not? 300 or 400. But dude, guys, this is going to be huge. The second pump or the second bull run is going to be huge for Hex, because look at all the stuff we have behind it. Look how many people are now coming into the Hex ecosystem or the RH ecosystem and coming in and wanting to be part of it, right? They want to be part of it. We got BitBoy, we got big influencers now talking about it. And when it starts to run, you don't think that these guys are going to try to jump on board. They're going to try to catch some of the wave. They're going to hop on board, guys. We don't have the scam ties as much. And the biggest thing, what happens when Richard Hart defeats the SEC, and then, just think about the price then. What do you think the price is going to just do once the SEC gets just eviscerated in court? Boom, right? And then he starts implementing cool new tech into Pulse X, like single-sided staking or, whatever else, new farms and all this other stuff. What happens? Like, do you not think that these things are all just going to be like, holy smokes, this ecosystem is awesome? Hex, are you saying we should all get lives and go do stuff? Well, you should have been doing that while the bear run was happening. Now that the bull run is here, you've lost your life. Now you're going to have to actually come out and work, right? Like, bull run is when we all should start working. This is when we got to get the word out, especially right now, right before the bull run. Get people in, get people excited, get people, pumped up for what's about to come. The people that are like, yeah, maybe $1 Hex. You're lame. $1 Hex, that's lame. What is that, like a 50x from here? Stop being lame. Who wants a 50x in crypto? That's the lamest thing I've ever heard in my life. 50x? Pfft.
All right, so there's another perspective. I actually think that this has got a very good chance of hitting this sort of mark that Hex is talking about, this $3 to $5 mark, let's say. And it was pretty funny him shouting down the $1 target. Of course, we saw that Ben Armstrong was talking about for eHex. Now, he was talking about PHEX there, so there's a slight difference, obviously, in that price ratio at the moment, but it may converge as well. That's another theme that could happen where eHex converges to PX. We'll be seeing that. Now, there's obviously thinner liquidity on the eHex side, right? So you can move that price pretty suddenly as well. So that's kind of cool. But if you thought $3 to $5 was pretty bullish from Hexo, let's get even more bullish, shall we? We want to get even more bullish. And so we're going to look at Toby Wan's video that came out yesterday. It's gone a bit viral. So big shout out to Toby Wan for that. And that was it, Toby Wan Hexobi, whatever. It reminds me of that guy in Indonesia, what it was, the Special Forces guy. But let's get in and check out his video. It's pretty short, but it's even more bullish than Hexo's. Let's go.
Bull flag over the last 3 years plus, and we break out around the time of the halvening. Typically, that flagpole, I'll show you here. The flagpole is, there's the pole, right? And then you go from the breakout. And not only will it show you the height, but also the timeline that it takes. It's uncanny how these kind of will play out, not only to the upside move, but the time it takes to get there as well. It's really weird. You can back test it. It's kind of
put on this
nuts.
ticker here.
So what's interesting about this is that actually takes us into January, February of 2025.
Yes.
And a price target of over $10.
Oh my God. Yahoo!
So there we are. There's a price prediction there of $10 by January 2025 with Toby's a bull flag. Now there has been some fair criticism around the TA side here regarding the shape of this bull flag. In other words, it's broken down from the pole. The actual flag is way too low versus the bull. But we'll see. I like this. It's definitely doable. So why do we say it's doable? Well, let's have a quick look at a few things that's going on. So we'll come back to that in a minute. Let me just go into the right view here. This is at the moment. This is Pulsechain's results here on transactions. So since the launch of Pulsechain, since the fork, I should say, we've got 100 million transactions now have been on Pulsechain, which is a pretty amazing milestone, almost up at 101 million transactions. So we're definitely getting a lot of activity. You can also see the uptrend recently as the market on Pulsechain's recovered. We've gone from like $10 million of volume up to 40 million plus. And that's been doing very well. So going pretty cool there. The active unique wallets also has been jumping recently, which is really nice to see. So that's going really well also. So we're getting some really nice numbers going on Pulsechain. And of course, as you guys know, a very important one has been the bridge. $142 million through the bridge now. I think the all-time high we had was 163 million before the SEC, I think somewhere back then. But I can't remember the exact date that was. But we're at 142 million at the moment, so we're heading up and away. And of course, we were down last time. I remember before we had this run, we probably were down at the 70-80 billion mark, and here we are, almost twice that now. And this is a number we're going to keep watching in the months ahead because I think it's just going to keep continuing to climb. And of course, this got DAI there, EHEX, USDC, ETH, USD Tether, and of course, Coast there, sitting just up below 4.4 million. Our own fiat on-ramp direct to Pulsechain. And of course, we've got Wrap Bitcoin and of course USDL, $32 million created internally, money created internally on Pulsechain. And we're waiting for PUSD Earn protocol. I can see they're under a bit of pressure to get it out. And hopefully they just have got an acceptable Oracle set up, whether it's centralized or decentralized, because obviously that is fundamental to running a liquidity fork protocol. And of course, they're well aware of that. So there's nothing I'm going to say that's going to make any magic to that. All right, so that is kind of the play there at the moment on the bridge, looking pretty good. But of course, there is much more, right? So let's talk about that. And let's say, so we've got these price predictions from these influencers, and let's get into what Richard Hart has talked about himself. And of course, he is the X factor amongst all of this. So let's get into the magic carpet ride.
In theory, if someone were a billionaire and they had like all this money, why wouldn't they just buy more of the thing they liked instead of dumping the thing they liked? Like if Bezos bought shares in Amazon, would you be pissed off? If Apple does a stock buyback and they buy more of their own shares in their company back from the public, which is a way to turn earnings into yield for the shareholders, do you get mad and yell at Apple? And so we had to come up with a word for this fan fiction fantasy, which is the opposite of a rug pull, called a magic carpet ride. And so if you're worried about risk of a rug pull, what weighted value have you given the risk of a magic carpet ride? And it's just hilarious to me.
All right, so there we are, the magic carpet ride. What will happen in this bull market ahead? Obviously, we've seen Richard on the battlefield already. He has brought the dream team to fight the SEC, including one of Elon Musk's legal firms as part of his 11 legal firm lineup. He has got the dream team. He has got the heavyweights in for that. I'm very bullish about that. Also, the capital has flowed, and here Richard the King is on the battlefield. It's going to be fun to see how this bull market goes. And of course, he's in it for glory. So I'm excited. I hope you guys are too. But once, like I say, once Hex and that runs away from that 3 cents, it's game on with the old Hex price. So the train is going to leave pretty soon. All right, let's get into the rest of the results for day 280. Can you believe it? 52,859 validators on Pulsechain. 1.69 trillion is stuck in the validating stakes off the market, which is pretty bullish. We've got the total amount at the moment on the locked on Pulsechain is almost 3 trillion Pulse is locked away off the market out of about approximately 16. So that's pretty amazing on that for the Pulsechain. 1.15 trillion is locked away with liquid loans, which is pretty awesome. That gets us into the gas prices. Obviously, Pulsechain is super cheap and super fast. However, we have had slightly elevated gas prices at the moment over the last 2 days. We're up at 363,000 beats, but that's still pretty cheap, right? And of course, we've got 2 cents for a Pulsex swap at the moment, which is 1,455 times cheaper than Ethereum. It is currently $28 to do a swap on Ethereum, and this is the weekend. We've ended the weekend, so let's see how low that gets. But Pulsechain super cheap, super fast. We're 1/10 of a penny for Pulsecoin transfer, 4/10 of a penny for PRC20 transfer. Now, the cool thing about this being super fast and super cheap, what is the big deal? There are other chains that are doing pretty well on that front, or at least a few anyway. You can see Dogecoin, we're 1.04 cheaper. But the thing is that we have so many protocols building on Pulsechain, leading the DeFi revolution. And what do? They help do the eighth wonder of the world, compounding, which is awesome. And you're doing it super cheap. You don't want to do it at paying 20, 30 bucks, maybe 150 bucks in a bull market to do compounding. You can do it super cheap on Pulsechain. And number two is profit sharing. We have so many protocols that are doing profit sharing. You get the token, you get a share of the profits on the utility, which is pretty awesome. So we've seen some mad growth with Internet Money Wallet, for example, is really starting to shine there with adoption and with more swapping and integrations and partnerships. And of course, the revenue seems to be going up. So it's been pretty nice. Looking good there. So that's some of the highlights there for day 280. Pretty fulsome review. And I hope you like some of those price predictions there from some of those influencers. Remember, that's just their estimate, and some of them have more knowledge than others. It's just the way it goes. And we will find out in the future exactly how that turns out by, let's say, by the end of March 2025. Let's see how we look like there and see how close these guys got it right. All right, so look, not too bad. We're going to get into other price categories though before we move on. Like that comment there from Check My Pulse, LFG bullish. Absolutely, I'm excited, and we're still in the early days. We've got so much coming. As I said earlier, Ethereum. We've got Protodank sharding on the 13th of March. We've got the Bitcoin ETF. Bitcoin halving on 17th of April. And then 23rd of May, we've got the Ethereum ETFs. So it just keeps rolling on. 10th of May, 10th of January, we had the Bitcoin ETFs, and they're really starting to generate some cash flow into the crypto market. It's game on. It's game on. And maybe we might get the interest rate pivot by June. Maybe some monetary printing, expansionary policy again the second half of the year. Maybe a bullish outcome out of the US election in November. And maybe we get a very long bull market. So let's see how we get on. All right, let's get into the top PRC20s. This is our second category after Richard Hart tokens. We're sorting by liquidity. So let's have a quick look through some of these. PDI is still at 0002, so still sitting just below a quarter of a penny here on PDI. We're going to keep watching that narrative because it's fun. It's more because it's fun, really. Treasury Bill up 3%. Teddy Bear up 6.6%. Now, I think it was Teddy Bear was along the line, along with Note token and another token. I can't remember the other one. They all got accepted on Pulsepot. Was it yesterday? No, 2 days ago, I think it was. They got accepted on Pulsepot. So they're now, you can now use that on Pulsepot, which is the world's first peer-to-peer crypto casino. What else is going on here? Let's just jump through some of these. Pretty much nothing much happening there. A few little up and downs, and not much there. Let's go to our next category, memes. Access Alive is up 4% today, 4.3. Now, in these meme coins, we've got lots of influencer coins. So we've got Access Alive here. This has been doing pretty amazing, as you can see in the chart. And that's on log too. Can you believe it? 24,749. So Access Alive token there doing very, very well. What else we got there? Blast is pretty flat there. Note token, which is a Randy Alaski's token. Let's have a look at that. That's at 2300th of a penny, almost a quarter of a penny. Just easing off there, but not too bad there on the old Note token. And as I say, you can do farming on 9inch, and also you can do use it on Pulsepot as well. That's one of the tokens accepted. Reflux there as well, up 4%, so it's not too bad. Mega down 3%. What else is looking interesting here? Duck there, Lewis the Duck is down 12%. This was doing really well the other day, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, had a big rally, look at that, and then sold off on the old Duck token. What else is going on there? Ben from BitBoys. This is V1 Ben. Remember Ben Armstrong was talking about bring his V2 Ben token over to Pulsechain. So keep an eye out on for that because obviously if Ben's supporting Pulsechain X and doing a lot more content in the future, then that token could do really well. So speculative, but still another influencer token that could do well. We've got more token from Trayvon is down 2% at the moment. That's kind of the play there. Dodge there from Jeff Kadakis of Trust Wallet. Trust Swap there is pretty flat. What else is looking interesting now? It's going to pull up Paul Pleb. Is Paul Pleb there? Yeah, Paul Pleb there from, is that the right one? Paul Pleb? Oh, here it is up here. Paul Pleb is pretty flat as well. That's from Hexy Bastard, the 9inch founder, one of the 9inch founders of the 9inch DEX. That's pretty much the play there. Let's jump over to the main event though. My favorite, as you guys know, Pulsechain projects. Let's see what the results are there. Helgo is up 3.5%. What else is looking interesting here? Pulsepot, we talked about that. Wow, $7. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Pulsepot, $7. And we know that there's going to be 3 more games coming out in about a week's time or so. So that's kind of cool. $7, and I covered that in full 2 days ago. I covered the whole Jacobs ecosystem that included PulseBot, BNB Bot, what is it, the TYCZ, which is coming out in March, TYRH V4 coming out in April, and then of course PUSD Algo, which I'm super bullish about, but that may not come out until the second half of the year, and of course has to reach the sacrifice target of 1 million. So if you want to get in on that, get a 90% referral bonus, get in on that now. The quicker we get to that target, the better. And of course, you get a 90% referral bonus in the link, using the link in the video description. I am super bullish. It could be the 4th stable coin on Pulsechain. The PUSD Algo could be massive upside. I'm really excited and happy to cover it. All right, so looking good there. $7 at the moment on PulseBot, looking like a boss. And of course, yeah, really, really fun place there. Tetra at the moment up 3%. Can't wait for Tetra as well. We have so many projects going to be launching on Pulsechain. They've all sort of backed up really. So Tetra is one of them. We've got a whole ton of protocols launch on Pulsechain, so looking forward to that too. Stay tuned for all that. Patias at the moment down 2%. What else is looking interesting? ZKZX, the Tornado fork, is at up 4% there. Let me know in the chat there if you've used the Tornado Cash fork there with ZKZX. Now, currently, as far as I know, is our only privacy protocol after B2 got rugged. So let us know. And of course, Hurry Cash fell over or something. I don't know what's happened with that. That certainly hasn't been used for a long time. So I don't think that's operating. Mitra there is up 4%. Up token is up 27%. So that looks like a real standout today. Up token. Wow. So if you guys know Haunted, this is his up token there, related, I guess, in some degree to liquid loans and all that. So that's up at 65 cents. Nice little pump there today for up token and Haunted. I was hoping to get Haunted on this channel, but I haven't managed to get that session set up, unfortunately. So this is the way it goes. Hocus Pocus is up 5.5%. What else there? Daytona is up 4% there. So one of our decks is up 4%. Plant token up 4% there. Weight token from Coast. So if you haven't joined Coast, you want to directly on-ramp fiat to Pulsechain, use Brian's link. He's our community leader. There's links in the video description, and you can get 5,000 free weight tokens. You like free stuff? Well, if you do your fiat on-ramping through Coast, up to 99 countries in the world can directly on-ramp to Pulsechain. And of course, you can get 5,000 white tokens, up 5% today. Not too bad there. What else is interesting? Bean is down 11%. We covered Bean. Bean is the latest project to launch on Pulsechain, and out of the utility projects I'm talking about. And it's just sort of eased down here. This is the hourly chart. Just eased down here at the moment at 7,500 with 5 zeros. So that is ticking away. I think that's it on there. We'll come back to that. I was going to talk more about that, but I'll get some details first. Let me jump through that one. Vemp. So if you like Web3 gaming, we've got obviously going to have more Web3 protocols launching on Pulsechain. I think Tetra is one of those. But here we got Vemp here, GameFi Web3, and you can do staking here. They've got pretty high yields. They've had a pump the last 2-3 days here, just continuing on. Pretty nice little pump too. We're up to 1.2 cents almost. It's up 18% today, so that's Vemp there. What else is looking pretty interesting? Fame, the fork of GMX, that's up 14% too. I did think that was getting oversold. Don't know why it was getting sold down, but we probably maybe some of these volume candles. It was really weird. And this is one of our blue chips, what I put in the blue chip category. Risky in some ways, riskier, but not if you're staking. If you're staking Fame, pretty low risk in my view. Because I can't really see it not being used a lot. It is our way of doing perpetual swaps and leverage trading up to 30x leverage, and it has been sustained, earning some amazing fees that we covered the other day. It's at 60 cents at the moment, so not too bad on a little pullback, getting a pickup. What else is pretty interesting? See there, I think that's PHUX as well, up 11%, 12% there. That's also part of the PH universe, which includes PHUX, Fiat, and Fame. But that and was it the other one, the Fatty wallet, which is like a portfolio manager. That's up by 12%. So that's what's happening on there, folks. Let's quickly look at the PRC 404s. Now, there's going to be lots of 404s. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to keep up with how many 404 contracts are going to be launching. As you guys know, these aren't really formalized yet, but they're kind of wild contracts. They obviously launched on the 2nd of February. They're on the Ethereum there. And now we've got them on Pulsechain with Gophers. But Gophers was the first one. This keeps going up there. Dip Catcher and Maximus, they're really clever. Set up pretty cool liquidity ladders, and Gophers has got some sort of snapshot coming up as well. Not sure if it's happened yet, but I think that's coming up. Check out Maximus and Dip Catcher if you want to find out more news about that. The first PRC 404s op performing very well indeed. And you can see I've got a new one there, DMC 404 Dragon Mint. But there's going to be lots of these now. They're all the grays, and why not? Because they're a combination between PRC 20s, which are tokens, and PRC 721s, which are NFTs. And in a sense, the 404 allows you to get liquidity tied up to the NFT collection just at the same time. It's pretty neat like that. Basically, if you buy the 404, you get, if you buy at least one unit, you're going to get issued that NFT. And if you obviously holding less, then it reverts back as far as I understand. So that's kind of the play there. But look at this price chart on here so far on Gophers, $1,137. And of course, we were watching it way back down here when it was launching or somewhere, or must have been around here somewhere. Yeah, up and away is the old Gophers there. Hats off to Dipcatcher, leading innovation and technology on Pulsechain and doing some wonderful things around there. Big hats off to them. Check it out. Now, let's have a look here. We've got a couple more comments in the chat, so let's go to some of these. Daniel says, do you know about the endowment tokens, Texan and Ophir? Yeah, I talk about those normally if the price is going up and down. Rags to Riches and Crypto Heartbeat cover that. That's their projects. But if the price is doing something, I'll talk about it on this chat. If there's any news, I'll talk about it too, but nothing particular today. Check me now says, check out the bullish PLSC chart. I think I talked about that yesterday, was it? Not PLSC, but I talked about Pulse Bitcoin yesterday. Aussie Stone says, my daily go-to, another Ripper Superman. Can't wait to see the Alex has cooked up for V2. Yeah, so we got the Icosahedron V2 is supposed to be coming up. We were supposed to get the prototype testing last quarter of last year, but that hasn't come out there. But Alex has been working on the RPC nodes upgrades. That must be out now. He must have finished that by now. And of course, he's working on the V2. We can't wait for that. That's going to be amazing. Cross-chain staking and stuff like that. Badass. Looking forward to Alex McFurder's upgrade there. Pulsecoin is the launch pad for 404s. Okay, cool. I never saw that one yet, so nice to see that. Me now, I'll probably check that out and maybe talk about it tomorrow. Blobfish King house there with the emojis, looking good. Hey, Blobfish King, big shout out. And Brennan as well, Howley Superman and family. Hey, Brennan, good to see our TA guru in the house, looking pretty good. All right, let me just bam, take a snapshot of that. And let's see if have we got the, how are we up to on time? An hour and 24. I think we got it. So let's go to the Hex Daily Stats and check it out. So this is hex.com. Obviously buy Hex and then stake it or mine Hex. That's the way we like to talk about these days. A T-share miner. So you buy Hex, you burn it for T-shares, and you start mining Hex either on Ethereum or Pulsechain. You got two chains or both you could do. Pretty cool. Let's have a look, see if we got the results out for day 1537. We have today. Yay! First day in like a week, it feels like. We got the actual results out on the same time. Anyway, we got the price of Hex on for day 1537 on Ethereum, 16th of February. The price is just below 1 penny, up 1.8% from the day before. The payout per T-share, this is the main thing that you want to know. How much Hex are you getting per T-share? And it is 6.978 Hex today, which is a pretty good result. We've got the T-share rate is up 15. So when you buy a spot T-share, this is the share rate, 32,372, goes up every day. It reflects compound interest, kind of the idea of it. And it goes up, not every day, but most days. Let's have a look at average mine length, 6.79 years. The APY, 38.51%. What else we got here? The T-share pool. So the ownership pool, number of T-shares in existence has gone down by 1,950 to 9,592,000. This is after the Hex Godwell the other day. Look at that. See, look at that. Wow. Yeah, 83,000. Only the Hex Godwell can do that. Or maybe Maximus on a good day. What else we got going? We got penalties today. Big penalties, 3.7 million. And remember, half of that, 50% goes to the reward pool for T-share miners. And so the reward pool there for all those T-share miners looking pretty juicy. Just under 67 million Hex for distribution. Pretty awesome. What else there? We've got the growth numbers, up 1 liquid holder. Today, down 10 miners. We're at 118,896 miners on the Ethereum chain. Let's go to Pulsechain. Pulsechain, 2 days behind. Can you believe it? We're waiting for day 279 and 280. They are not even out at the moment. What's going on there? Something wrong with the API or something like that. But that is the play. We are currently on day 1538 for Ethereum and day 281 for Pulsechain. Bring it on, hex.com. Links in the video description. Check it out. If you have any questions, join our Discord. It's wonderful. We have a crypto helpline, and you can get on there if you have any more questions. And we've got Brian in the house. He's our community leader. He's a master of Hex, and he can help you out with a lot of stuff. If you've got any questions, join up today. Now, the Discord is private now. It is $5 a month, but you get so much cool stuff. You get the community, you get all the alpha, and you get strategies, intel, information, all the information sites. It is so cool. Great audio and text chats. It's so amazing. So get in there, folks. And I'm in there on a regular basis because I love the community so much. So let's go. Let's go. All right. So that is pretty much it on the Hex Daily Stats. Check it out, hex.com. It is the winner for the second time in a row. You watch it. Watch the space. Don't get left out on a magic upright, as we say. Wookie says, you always know a Tirana driver as they are always late. You're talking about Brennan. I'm sure of it. Sure of it. Is that you, Brennan? I'm not sure. All right, let's go. Yeah, join the strategy club today. That link is there, and get in there, folks. I think we're probably having a session tomorrow, so get in on that one with the strategy club. I might even have an impromptu one today, so get on the strategy club. That is today. Now, we have a normal Discord is $5 a month, so that's for Pulsechain X Discord. But if you want to join our secret private club for strategy, that's multi-chain opportunities. You get strategy and intel, then join up the strategy club. That's $35 a month, so get in on that one. The bull market's only just beginning, and you want the advantage. Get in there, folks. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed it today. We're up to 56 minutes on the hour. I think it was a pretty good session. I hope you guys enjoyed it too. What else? Let's go here. We've got a couple of more comments. Let's play this on the way out. Peace out, everybody. Take care. I'll catch you tomorrow. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, hit the bell. See you in Discord 24/7. Yeah, baby. Yeah. And I'll catch you guys again on the next day, which will be fun for the next live stream. All right, take care. Bye for now.
It's fun to watch Hex pumping up the charts. It's left behind all kinds of broken hearts who didn't buy the dip, who didn't DCA, and now that we're on a rip, it's hard to look away. Now, I'm not the one to hand out free advice, but as for me, I wouldn't dare think twice about buying a bag, since we're still somewhat down. This rocket ship's about to break the speed of sound. You know these wheels are starting to roll. Best to sit back and just enjoy the show, 'cause we're about to ride that train into the heart of Hexaco. Now, I tip my hat to everyone who minds. You're getting paid out while you're killing time. It makes room for a nice vacation to the beach, perhaps a celebration now that you are rich. Ha ha! Ignore the haters who all called you crazy. You studied hard while they were being lazy. Now you're packing bags, about to take a ride up on that rocket ship, mooned up and starry-eyed. I feel these wheels are starting to roll. Best to sit back and just enjoy the show, 'cause we're about to ride that train into the heart of Hexaco. Now that we're summer bound and the sun is bright, I see that it's not round but rather has 6 sides. It's a work of art that's written into code, designed by Richard Hart to make our bags explode. You know these wheels are starting to roll. Best to sit back and just enjoy the show, 'cause we're about to ride that train into the heart of Hexaco. Yeah, we're about to ride that train into the heart of Hexaco.